Hi, P7, we are back and this is shape revision this week, okay? Really important, something we need to work on as a class and we're going to use our booklets to do that, okay? The first section you have to work on today, you really need to read these first 2 pages and basically all of the answers are in here. Okay, so when you're completing the questions, don't be afraid to flick back and check these so that you get the correct answer. For the next set of questions I'm going to go through with you, make sure now you have paper, pencil or whiteboard and pen and take part in this lesson with me. Okay, pause the video whenever you need, rewatch, wind back, okay, whatever you need to do to learn. Okay, get ready because here we go. Moving on to the second part of the questions you will be asked to answer today, we have a hexagon, okay? Don't be fooled by the hexagon. What's really important is you look at the triangles, okay, and angles around a point, as if I asked you to stand up and do a turn, okay? The hexagon below is made up of 6 equilateral triangles. Calculate the size of the angle marked inside the hexagon. So here we have an angle, okay, that goes all the way around. I can see it's a reflex angle. I can see it's going to be bigger than 180, but less than 360. And we have to calculate the size. Well, pause the video now, have a think of what you would do. Okay, working this one out. Importantly, we know we've got equilateral triangles. And I know that every equilateral triangle has 3 angles all worth 60. Because 60 plus 60 plus 60 is 180. Okay, which means, okay, looking at the individual triangles, okay, this angle is going to be 60. Forgive my bad writing. Okay, here we have another triangle. Okay, which means this angle is also going to be 60. And this angle is going to be 60. And this angle is going to be 60. Just add them up, P7. Or we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 60 times 4. 0 fours are 0, 6 fours are 24. I'm confident my answer is 240 degrees. I think back to at the start when I said it's going to be a reflex angle, it's going to be bigger than 180, less than 360, and yes, it is. Next up, we have a rectangle, okay, and the angle, one of the angles has been divided into 2 smaller angles. What is the size of angle A? Already, I can see it's an acute angle. It's small and cute. It's going to be less than 90. Now, I know with rectangles that all the angles are right angles. We've 4 right angles. 1, 2, 3, and I'll do it really big so it doesn't confuse me, but 4. I know a right angle is 90 degrees. So I know this green that I have marked at the bottom is 90 degrees. Okay? Part of that has already been counted, 41. So really straightforward, we have to find out what's left. So I have to take my 90 degrees, take away 41, and I will be left with my answer. Work that out for me now. Okay, 0 take away 1 you can't do, so I go next door, borrow and carry 1 across. Okay, 10 take away 1 is 9, 8 take away 4 is 4. That angle, I believe, is 49 degrees. How could I check that, P7? How could I check that 49 is correct? Hopefully you're thinking I could add what I think together with 41 to see if I get 90. So I could add 49 plus 41 and hope that I get 90. 9 plus 1 is 10. 4 plus 4 is 8. Carry the 1 is 9. Perfect. Confident, ready to go. Next I have a quadrilateral. Okay, I know quadrilaterals. I always annotate as I go. Their angles always add up to 360. The angles marked X are the same size. What is the value of X? What is the value of one of these angles? Okay, right, I know I've got an 120 and 120. Let's add those together and take away from 360. 120 plus 120. I can do it in my head, but I'll just be careful. I know that's 240. 360 take away 240 will then show me what I have left. It'll show me what this plus this equals together. Okay, 0 take away 0, can't do. 6 is nothing. 6 take away 4 is 2. 3 take away 2 is 1. Okay, and I'm left with 120 degrees. That means that x plus x, these two angles combined together, equal 120. But I want to find out what one of them equals, what one of them is. And I know they're the exact same, so we can divide them into equal parts and divide by 2. Okay, how many 2's in 1? 0, remainder 1, and I will be left with 60. How could I check that, P7? Pause and tell me now. I know that all of the angles must add up to 360. So to check, I could do 120. So I've ticked that one off. Then 120. Then 60. And then 60 for my last angle. Add them up and see what I get. 6 and 6 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Plus 2 is 16. 1 and 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. There we go. Confident, happy to move on. Okay, next question. What is the total number of degrees of all of the angles in 2 quadrilaterals and 1 triangle? Right, I know a quadrilateral, the angles always add up to 360. And I know in a triangle, the angles always add up to 180. I have 2 quadrilaterals, so I'm going to have to do 360 times 2, because I have 2 of them. 0 2's are 0, 6 2's are 12, 3 2's are 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay, so 720 is my 2 quadrilaterals. I have to add on 1 triangle, so I'm just going to add, because the question is what is the total. 2 plus 8 is 10, carry the 1, 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and I'm confident my answer then is going to be 900. This is the last question we're going to look at today, P7, and I personally think this is the hardest, okay? Look at the quadrilateral below. 2 angles are given and 2 angles are missing. This is your important clue. One of the missing angles is twice the size of the other. Write the 2 missing angles in the space below. Pause the video now, give it a go, see what you can do. Okay, if you ever get asked a question and it says one of the angles or missing angles is twice the size of the other. Okay, here's my clue. I've told my class before, we want to work in thirds then. Think in thirds, because this mystery missing angle, we could break it up. This is the missing angles. And we know one is twice the size of the other, which means, okay, if this is 1, okay, the other has to be double that. The other has to be worth this much. Okay, so think about it in thirds. Okay, the smallest angle will be 1/3. Okay, and then the bigger angle, which is double that, will be 2/3. Okay, so think in thirds. What I want to do now is work out what these 2 missing angles are worth together, like we did last time. So I'm going to add together what I have. 105 plus 30 will give me 135. Now I'm going to take that away with 360. Take that away from 360 to see what I have to play with. Okay, minus 135. 0 take away 5 I can't do, so I go next door and borrow. 10 take away 5 is 5. 5 take away 3 is 2. 3 take away 1 is 2. Right, I have 225 to play with. And again, I know 1/3 of it will be one of the answers, and 2/3 of it will be the other answer, because the 2/3 has to be double that of the 1. So let's find thirds. Okay, I'm going to take my 225 and I'm going to work out what 1/3 of it is by dividing by 3. How many 3's in 2? 0. I'm going to do a different colour, remainder 2. How many 3's in 22? 7 will take you to 21, remainder 1. How many 3's in 15? 5. Right, so I think this small angle is going to be 75. which means the other angle is going to have to be double that. It's twice the size. So let's times it by 2 and get double, and that would be 2/3. 5 times 2 is 10. 7 times 2 is 14, add the 1 is 15. 0 times 2 is 0, add the 1 is 1. Okay, 150. I think my answer is 75 and 150. How could I check P7? You could check by adding all of these together and checking that the 4 numbers added together add to 360. Okay, hopefully that makes sense for you. Your task today is to complete those set pages, okay, with some of these example questions to revise and just to practice learning about shape and space.